Dun 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 bump. So I was asked about intermittent fasting and what I do and how I started doing intermittent fasting or time restricted eating and why and all that kind of jazz. Like I said in the why I went keto video, I watched the video by that guy Dr. Berg, B-E-R-G, on keto and intermittent fasting. Well, that's why I started doing intermittent fasting, because it was in the video and that's what my doctor told me to do. My doctor was like, do what he says in this video. And that was a part of it. And I've been doing that since. So the way that I got into intermittent fasting was I started out with a 12-hour fast. And fasting means no intake of calories. So you can't eat anything that has a calorie in it. Because if you're eating anything with a calorie in it, you're not fasting. So from 7 at night until 7 in the morning, 12-hour fast, I would not eat or drink anything that had a calorie in it for that 12 hours. And at first I was like, oh man, 12 hours, not eating or drinking. Well, you can drink water, but you can't drink anything with calories in it. So there's a little bit of a slippery slope. Some people say that like the 0-calorie fizzy water kind of drinks or like black coffee doesn't break that fast. And then I heard other people like Dr. Rhonda Patrick, she said that since like caffeine, coffee has caffeine or other things in it, that your body has to metabolize or goes through your liver, and there's processes there, so technically that breaks your fasting. But some people, including myself, I still take black coffee whenever I'm in my fasting window, when I'm not in my feeding window. All right, so you have fasting window, feeding window. Fasting window is when you're not taking the calories, and then your feeding window is when you are. So I first started out with 12 hours from 7 at night till 7 in the morning. And then after like a week, I went to a 14-hour fast. So I pushed back my breakfast. So from 7 until 9, 7 at night till 9 in the morning, no calorie intake. I'd still have black coffee. I know that that's still a slippery slope kind of thing, but whatever. It took me, like a week and a half to get used to that. And then I pushed back my breakfast even more. So now I was on a 16-hour fast. So from 7 at night until 11 in the morning, I would not eat or drink anything with a calorie in it. And a lot of people would ask, well, why? Why would you do that? Well, there's more than a couple reasons. And there's a whole bunch of scientific stuff that goes along with it. If you look up Dr. Rhonda Patrick, she's on Joe Rogan's podcast all the time. And look up, she also did a podcast with Dr. Panda. He's a scientist that does a lot of research on time-restricted eating, and you can get a plethora of information about that. So one of the things is your circadian clock. That's the clock inside your body, your biological clock, that tells you certain things. And it also tells different organs in your body different things. And one of the triggers for some of those processes is when you start eating. So if you want more information on that, look up Dr. Sanjay Panda, and listen to his podcast, or listen to the podcast that he did with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and they'll blow your mind. They will blow your mind with the different things that happen to your body when you're fasting, and even whenever you're fasting at length, which I'll get into. So once I pushed my breakfast back to 11 o'clock, I basically eliminated my breakfast. So at that time, I became what's called 2 MAD, which means 2 meals a day. So I only eat twice a day. I only lunch and I only eat dinner. Now, typically, you don't want a snack. You want to eat a big enough meal to hold you over to your next meal. And whether that is, for lunch, you have 1,000 calorie, and this is also depending on how many calories your body needs. Like me, I know that I need at least 2,700 calories a day, and that's just to maintain. That's not if I'm exercising or running or doing anything. Just to maintain my daily life, I need 2,700 calories a day. So now there are some days when I'm working and I'm real busy and I do not have the opportunity to eat lunch. So then I become OMAD, or 1 meal a day, which also too, you want to make sure that you're getting enough calories. A lot of people think that if you go into a extreme caloric deficit, you're going to lose a lot of weight. But the bad thing is your body is going to have a trigger in it, and it's going to know, okay, well, we started out here and we are now here. We need to get back up to here. So if you lose weight too fast, you might end up hitting that trigger. And being in a caloric deficit for too long or too big of a caloric deficit will do that to you. Now, whenever I fast, typically it's 14 to 16 hour days of fasting. And then I have my window. I eat my lunch. I don't eat anything again until dinner. Now, since I do have some time inside my eating window, sometimes, most nights, I will share a half a bag of popcorn, microwave popcorn, with the wife. Other than that, limited snacking. You want to try to make sure that you eat enough that you're satiated. Fancy way of saying not hungry or feeling full. You want to stay satiated until your next meal. Now, a lot of people, they talk about, oh my God, you're fasting, you're not going to have any energy, this, that, the other thing. Not true. All right, so if you're trying to lose weight, like me, I was trying to lose weight, and basically I had all this fat. Well, fat is stored energy. That's how your body stores energy. Your body stores energy by getting the extra calories that you put in your mouth and putting them around your stomach or wherever, your hips, your ass, wherever. So think of all that fat as energy bars, okay? So this is one of the keys with the keto diet. You're going to train your body to burn fat again. So right now, you're used to burning carbohydrates all the time. You put it in your mouth, it gets digested, it gets readily put into your bloodstream, and then it's an insulin response, and bang, you're using that fast burn. Now that fast burn is like putting, lighting newspaper on fire. It burns real hot, real fast, and then it goes away. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to burn the fat. The fat is the logs in the fire. It's a little more difficult to get them to burn, but when they start burning, they burn hotter and longer. And you can look up, there's scientific studies that for every calorie of carbohydrate, you get 4 kilojoules of energy. For every calorie of fat, you get 9 kilojoules of energy, more than double the amount of energy from fat than you do carbohydrate. But you have to know a couple things. It's a whole bunch of science behind this. And if you don't want to take my word for it, look it up. Okay. So if you're a person, you're sedentary, you're not working out a lot, all right? You have the ability that once you start going keto, you're going to continuously train your body to burn fat because you're not giving it any carbohydrate. You're going to continuously get it to burn fat. Well, now you're fasting, right? Your body has now become used to burning fat, and now you're starting to fast. Well, your body is looking for what? Energy. Where is it going to draw that energy? That's right, from your fat. So either no, you're not eating, you're still burning that fat. And you're going to burn fat 24 hours a day. Not only the fat that you're putting in your mouth, but also the fat that's around your body. And that is huge. So initially, you're going to have this big drop of weight, and then they talk about a plateau. But it's not exactly a plateau, because a plateau is flat. It's a pitch. All right? So I lost almost pretty close to 30 pounds in 3 weeks. And then after that, I lost about 2 to 3 pounds a week until I decided that, well, my wife decided that I was too thin and I had to put some more weight back on. But keto and intermittent fasting play very nice together. And then you have all the other scientific things that go along with intermittent fasting. Even if you don't go keto, intermittent fasting stops you from being able to have the opportunity to put a bunch of shit in your mouth that you shouldn't be eating in the first place. Think about that. Do some fucking homework. Educate yourself. Get off your ass. You got 2 feet? Use them. Put some fucking shoes on them and go walk down the street. Or better yet, run. Maybe only 100 feet to the next person's mailbox, but at least it's something. And that's how I started. I was like, okay, I'm going to go running. Well, guess what? I only ran 100 feet and I thought I was going to drop dead and have a heart attack. But the next day I got out and I ran 500 feet. And then slowly but surely I kept adding on the miles. And if my buffalo butt can get out of my rut and do stuff like that, you or anybody else fucking can. Don't fucking kid yourself. I can't do it. I don't like to run. I don't like to this. Yeah, well, that's what the problem is. You keep on saying, I can't. It's all up here. It's up here, people. Motivation, self-motivation, determination, it's all in your fucking head. It's all up here. Get a pair of sneakers, make sure they fit right, get some nice socks. Injinji, I-N-J-I-N-J-I. Injinji toe socks. You will love them. I hated them at first. They're kind of weird, but you don't get blisters. It's a home run. It's a sock for your foot. It looks crazy when you're wearing them, but they are comfortable as hell, and they will help you with your feet when you're running or walking or doing whatever you're doing. This is not a paid advertisement. I just like not destroying my feet. Get off your ass. Take some accountability for yourself. Enough with this fluff. Everybody complimenting each other all the fucking time. I'm sick of it. You can do it. Anybody can. You just got to get this. Got to get your fucking head right. Want some real motivational stuff? Look up David Goggins. Guy's an animal. He will motivate your ass. Look him up. You can do it.